Welcome and welcome again, my guys. So my journey starts here at Kinamba, headed to Mweiga. So guys, I've been off for a while, but I've been quite busy, but apologies. So I have some content for you. Apologies. I had to make sure my tank was full to avoid any fuel shortage. So I had to start my journey. This place is known as Katirima. It is among the first small towns that I faced before I reached Nyahururu. It was the next major town that I had to come across. So Katirima is a place where mostly it is the Kalenjins who have occupied this place. It has some very beautiful scenes, starting with the mountains. You can see this mountain over here. It is known as the Niagara mountain. It is quite odd. So this place has a very beautiful scene. This mountain, you can see the green farms, meaning that this place is quite fertile. And many people love farming from this place. People plant maize, people plant tomatoes, but for many farmers they have done maize. Over there is another land. There is a guy who has planted some grass. I usually bill for him too. I was not able to record each and every place because I was the one operating the machine as well as recording my video. So attached to the tractor was the baler and the mower. And at a speed of 40, I was approaching another town. This town is known as Karandi. And as you can see, these people still plant maize. Generally in Ngarua, this place known as Ngarua, people plant maize in large farms. So cash crops za Ngarua ni mahindi generally. Anyway guys, I had no co-driver, so I had to check behind me if my implements were still okay. And they were still intact. So as I was crossing this river Jordan, I wish I knew. My temperature gauge was a bit high and I didn't realize, but as I went on, maybe for the next few meters, I realized that my gauge was a bit high. And what I did was, let me show you when It is at this point that I realized it was a bit high, so I had to fasten the fan belt because I thought my thinking was it was loose because I had added some coolant in the radiator. Because there was no one to record me, I could have shown you how I did it, but the gauge didn't drop immediately because the tractor was still on the run. I had to go maybe for some few kilometers and discover if there could be some changes. So I was wondering mbona huyu mtu ana overtake kwa continuous yellow line, but makosa si yake, makosa inakuanga ya nani? Ya mtu wa nduthi, na ndio huyu. Anyway. I realized the gauge was not dropping and I had to find another solution because it was not wise driving it on that situation. So when I reached this small town, it is known as Mudengera, I tried to figure out if I could find maybe a car wash and a place where I could find plenty of water, but I didn't find water. I decided to go to the next town, or rather the next place that I could find water to add to the radiator. So it is at this point I found this car wash, and I went to this guy and borrowed some water to add to the radiator. I was expecting too much pressure from the radiator because when it is too hot, you don't just open, you let it cool down. But I wanted to add water immediately. But to my shock, this tractor had a lot of water. It was still full. So it generally meant there was another problem apart from, as you can see, there was water in the radiator. So I had to move on with my journey because the tractor was filled with water. I only had to splash the radiator with water to make it clear. You can see the gauge had dropped down at this point, so I had to move on with the journey. This is Wanjiko, a town that is developing due to farming around the place. You can see people are still building apartments for business. Yeah. So and I was expecting to see some tractors here because this place is a busy area for tractors, and I was lucky to see one over there. It is a Ford 4000. On my left side, as you can see, on my left side is on your way to Samburu, on your way to Rumuruti, Marral. But these matatus are just going to Rumuruti. I had to take my right turn because I was going to Nyahururu and divert to Nyeri. And at this point I saw my friend. He does some welding over there, and I had to greet him, say hi, wanted just to know. Anyway, said hi to him and know how he was faring. And I was now approaching the slums. They are famous slums known as the Kiamaina slums in Nyahururu. I was now almost Nyahururu town. This is the view. This is the view, guys. And now I was approaching the Nyeri highway. Yeah, to Nyeri highway. This is almost Nyahururu town, but I was not to reach Nyahururu because this is not that direction I was headed to anyway. This is the famous Thompson Falls from a far view, a refreshment place. At the moment I couldn't get. at this point I realized my phone was almost shutting down because of its power. The battery power was almost going down, almost shutting down. So I had to buy a charger. The one I had for the tractor was faulty, so I had to buy a new one. I parked it at this place. I wanted to see how it looked like, the view. So this place is known as Mweiga. I bought it and I had to test if it was working, and yeah, it was very much in order. So I had to resume my journey and continue heading to Mweiga. And at this point, one of my biggest fears, rain, my friends. You know, I'm just in the open air. So when it starts raining, definitely I'll be rained on like nobody's business. So I had some raindrops, but fortunately it was not to rain, so I was not rained on. So this place is popularly known as Wakongo. It is among the towns where the equator passes, or crosses rather. I've been there, so it was not my first time. Yeah. Amazingly, I didn't realize that lorry is very familiar. I had to stop and say hi. So I had to park along the road and go back and say hi to them. No, maybe the current price of the road is grass, and yeah, said hi to them and took off. This is another town along the Nyeri-Nyahururu highway. It's known as Ndaragwa. It has some various, let me say, there's some famous locations, or rather restaurants, like the Lalanasi Lodge. They are located in this area. Another maybe small towns like Akinangamini, they are from this place. Then maybe another school known as the Ndaragwa Girls from this place. I've worked in this place, still baling hay. They are cash crop, simawaru. But rather, anyway, headed to Jikaze, and I'm going to show you the road which takes you to Lalanasi Lodge, which takes you to Kambi Mstuni. So this is the road. So from Ndaragwa headed to Nyeri, it's around a kilometer. So on your left, that's the way. This is a place among the Kenyan towns which has very funny names. This is among them. It is known as Jikaze, which means in English, give yourself strength. Witaidhie, help yourself. So this is Jikaze. And at this point, I felt very much hungry, and I decided I'm going to look for something to eat. Among the challenges that we face moving from town to towns, maybe for these long distances, maybe hunger. At times there might be rain, maybe cold. You must wear heavily. Yeah, so very many challenges. It might look very maybe interesting. It is, which it is, but at the same time there are some challenges. So I decided to park here and look for a joint I can have a small meal. Because of time, I could not stop and eat at the place, so I decided to go and get some takeaway. See what I had for lunch. I decided to take some meat. This is some meat, some nyama choma from this joint, and there was no time, so I just bought and eat it as I drove off. Hey, this was my lunchbox. Anyway, there are no tables on the tractor. There are no tables. Only one seat, the driver's seat. So this is where I put the meat on. So as I was driving, I was picking a pace, and yeah, that was how I was eating. This is the next town from Jikaze. It's known as Makutano. It is a bypass from Nyahururu, which takes you to Nanyuki via Naromoru.
Can I call you baby? Can you be my friend? Can you be my lover up until the very end? Let me show you love.
And from a distance, that's the Aberdare Ranges.
Even when the world is giving in. Oh, don't you worry. I'll be there whenever you want me. I need somebody who can love me at my worst. No, I'm not perfect, but I hope you see my worth. 'Cause it's only you, nobody knew I put you first. And for you, boy, I swear I'll do the worst. If you stay forever, let me hold your hand. I can feel this places in your heart, no else again. Let me show you love, oh don't pretend. I'll be right here, baby, you know I'll sink or swim. Oh don't you worry, I'll be there whenever you want me. I need somebody who can love me at my worst. No, I'm not perfect, but I hope you see my worth. 'Cause it's only you, nobody knew I put you first. And for you, boy, I swear I'll do the worst. Perfect, but I hope you see my worth. 'Cause it's only you, nobody knew I put you first. And for you, boy, I swear I'll do the worst.
I would have loved to listen to some such soft music while I was driving, but the sound of a running tractor at its full speed, I don't really think you can even make a call. But anyway, I really wonder how you've could have watched to this point and you've not subscribed, kindly take this opportunity to subscribe. As I was crossing this town, as I was passing this town, I didn't know that maybe in the next 20 minutes I would be here again, because I had a breakdown. So this place is known as Nairobi. As you have seen, these people grow onions, there are potatoes, there are even tomatoes, because they find water from their abadeas. And I guess the temperature and the climate of this place, it favors the crop. And at this point, I decided to even record and ask my math teacher, hapa ni wapi? If we thought I will never go far, hapa ni wapi? Hatuendi mbali, hapa ni wapi? Kama hapa si mbali, basi hapa ni wapi? But anyway, I was feeling exhausted. I was feeling very much cold. But anyway, my breakdown was almost. I was not knowing, you don't know what will happen in future. I was not knowing, and boom, the fan belt that I was fastening, it broke down. It cut. So I had to stop to call my team, my recovery team, my rescue team, and within no time he was there. My boss was there, and he helped me get another fan belt, and I replaced it. I couldn't record because he could wonder, why are you recording these things, and you have a long way to go. You maybe past half the journey and you are now recording. So I didn't record changing it, but this is the tractor. I parked it there, took a motorbike, went back and got this fan belt, and he was there with me, and we replaced it within no time. You can see him back there. Within no time it was okay, and I continued with the journey. Time was running, and you can see now the weather has started changing. You can see now darkness. It was around 7 a.m., around 6:30, and I was quite a distance from my destination, although I was almost. In 2020, as I was going down this slope, I'll never forget what happened, because I was with the Sonalika 4-wheel drive, and we were with my friend. As we were going down this slope, I told him, let me engage free drive, let me engage the free gear, so that it might drop at a high speed. So what I did, I didn't manually shift the gear to neutral. I just stepped on the clutch so that it could maybe move freely at a higher speed. but approaching this corner, I heard a very loud noise, and I didn't know what had really happened, but I heard some noise. I had to stop. And while we alighted, we were amazed because the 4-wheel drive shaft had broken. We didn't know what we could do. It had already tampered with the sump. We had no sump guard, and now oil has started leaking. And the experience of this slope I'll never forget, because I could have done some very bad things here. So anyway, darkness had already started conquering, and I had to switch on my front lights so that I could see. And anyway, anybody even behind me could see there is a machine in front. So I was, at this point, I knew I had left her for only 6 kilometers, 6 to or 5 kilometers to my destination. So I had no worries. At this point, I decided to stop and look behind to see if the Bella reflectors were clear. Because it doesn't have lights, I couldn't just move blindly, so I had to check if they were okay, and they were very fine. I think as I was going up this hill, I was very happy because I saw this written Mweiga. I know I had reached my destination. I was very much happy, although I was feeling a lot of cold. I had some 2 breakdowns along the way, but anyway, it was God's mercies, journey mercies, and I was home already. I was in Mweiga. This was my final destination. This is Mweiga town, Mweiga Kobil. Thank you guys for being with me. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. Kindly share, kindly subscribe, kindly comment. Thank you for your time. I'm thankful. Thank you so much.